Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel finally with another video for you guys here today. It has been a bit, and I wanted to talk about where I've been, and if you don't want to listen to that, I completely understand. There's a timestamp at the top of the screen that you can skip to where we talk about how minicamp's been shaping up for the Cowboys offense and just my thoughts and opinions on the stuff that's been coming out. So, for those that don't know what's been going on and you didn't see my community post from a couple days ago, there have been the wildfires that have been taking place in Canada over the past week, and they have made air quality drop dramatically. And it affected me personally because I had complications breathing, and this led to me not having energy to really do basic things. And I didn't realize how bad it can get, and, it really put me into a state where I didn't know what was going to happen, but I'm still feeling the effects of that. Luckily, not as bad as it was when it started. So if I sound a bit groggy over the past couple of videos that I'm making, for talking about minicamp to make up for that, I'm still trying to get past what's been going on over the past week. So I thank you everyone so much for the love and support and the patience. I know the algorithm is going to be against me for this period of time, so if you guys can hit the like button, share it, whatever you got to do. That's all I'm asking. And we'll just see how things go from here. Again, I still don't feel 100%, so if I'm, looking groggy or just sounding like it, that's why. So, let's go ahead and talk about minicamp for the Cowboys, specifically the offense. We're hearing word about the Texas Coast offense, right? Or Tex Coast offense, or Texaco, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? You know me, I'm not a fan of the nicknames. I think that they're stupid, especially when you haven't done anything to garner such a name. Dak Prescott's calling it the Texas Coast, and, Brian Schottenheimer was talking about more specifically like, hey, we're taking elements of what was built upon here and adding some things here and there, which is fine and all, right? I don't think that the Cowboys' offense was completely broken. I just think that there were elements that they could do more, remove, and all that other stuff. So, if we're going off of what Mike McCarthy has done in Green Bay, he's adding some flair to that. The number one thing that I'm looking for is the removal of the option routes. This was a big thing for why you had mistakes take place last year. And, a lot of the concepts that we saw with Kellen Moore's offense, with how these receivers were running routes, resulted in mistakes, interceptions, and also just, sometimes the play calling seemed a bit off situationally. And that's really the big thing, is you can't have that happen when you're trying to contend for a title. So seeing those removed should help guys like Jalen Tolbert out, and, other dudes that are coming along that might have struggled with that as they came into the system. The other thing is I want to see more up-tempo nature to the offense. For those that don't remember, this was a staple of Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers when they were together in Green Bay. There would be a lot more up-tempo to the offense, and Dak Prescott, if you know, and I've said it in previous videos, he's done well in the no-huddle up-tempo offense. And I think that getting that started again would really help get him into a rhythm and do wonders for him. That's just my personal opinion. We've seen this happen, in some parts of his career, but the Cowboys would not utilize that, or, bootlegs or anything to that caliber, right? They're not utilizing Dak Prescott how I think he should be. I don't think you have to make the dude run 10, 15 times a game. I do think that having his legs as a threat is also something we want to see them build upon, right? And we know that the Cowboys have scored a ton of points, but when it comes to when it matters, and especially the games where they need to win, there have been moments where it feels like the Cowboys offense was stale, broken, because they would go up against a superior opponent, and you saw that happen against the 49ers in the postseason, and that's no excuse for the poor play of other players, but when you look at film, you can see that one of the biggest reasons why the Cowboys struggle in certain instances, and we've said it since Kellen Moore has been here, is the on-the-job training. It feels like there are elements of the offense that really don't need to be there, and it didn't feel right. And now that you've added some pieces, and we're going to talk about it in another video because we know that Brandon Cooks has been the talk of the town in Dallas, we need to talk about more so how things are going to be utilized here, right? Because, you know, another thing is sometimes it feels like the concepts, it just wasn't there. Like, why are we not utilizing deep shots more? Why are we not running the ball a certain way? Like, there was a lot of efficiency issues with the Cowboys in 2022, and more specifically even before that, to where, like, you kind of saw it in some instances where it's like we're not running the ball when we should, or we're running certain plays that aren't working. Like in the Green Bay game, this is a stark example. I understand it's one, but it's still something to keep in mind, right? When you have a play that's literally unstoppable, running back draw, right? Like they are unable to stop that, and you don't use it in certain instances, it's like, what the hell? Or like the whole thing of like how you're managing the game, you know, that falls on, at the time, you could say your head coach, it falls on for him ultimately being responsible for it. But if he's giving the offense to Kellen Moore, that's on Kellen Moore to get the job done, right? And now that Mike McCarthy has his fingerprints on it, and this is the thing that I love about how they're building this offense, I don't give a shit what they call it. Number one, you want to call it the Texas Coast. Again, you want to call it Texas Coast. I think it's stupid. I don't believe in you, because we've heard the nicknames that have come through these walls. Oh, the no-fly zone, airplane mode, the hot boys, you know. You need to earn the ability to have those nicknames. If the offense looks phenomenal and we run through zero issues throughout the entire season, which I know that's not going to happen, there's going to be issues. But if things work out, yeah, we can have that conversation. I just don't think that, we need to be making nicknames for something that we haven't seen yet. And then especially if it doesn't work, then we're like, oh shit, like we were hyping up an offense that can't work. I'm not trying to be negative Nancy here. I'm just being as honest with you as possible. So I really do like what I've been hearing, what we're trying to do conceptually. It really feels like the Cowboys trust what they got going on. Now, as for realistically the biggest focal point of this, going back to talking about how it's Mike McCarthy's job to get this thing right because he's the captain of the ship now with this offense. If this thing does not work, it is on Mike McCarthy. And Mike McCarthy's going like, well, I've been working with Dak. I've been working with this person. I've been working with that person. They need to make it to the point to where there are no excuses anymore, right? You need to build an offense to where I'm literally working with so-and-so to get this exactly how makes him feel, like Dak. I want to make the offense feel Dak comfortable, or whatever the hell you want to word it as. That's that. We want to make sure we're building a run game that does this, or we want to do it that. It doesn't matter. You need, at the end of the day, to build this offense for what it should be doing, and that is winning games when it matters most. I love the, statistical output that Kellen Moore's offenses would be, and he's going to do that in, Los Angeles with the Chargers. But when we know it as Cowboys fans, when it mattered the most, the offense did not come alive. And you can say that it was Dak Prescott's fault. You can say that it's the offensive line's fault. You can say that it's this. I'm just saying this, just being, completely honest with you. As a coach, and tell me if I'm wrong here. I might be wrong here. As a coach, if you know that your player is struggling, wouldn't you want to try and gauge the situation for what it is and try to help them out, make adjustments? Hey, Dak, I know that you're struggling, seeing this part of the field or something's bothering you. Let's see what we can do to resolve that, right? That is something where, you shouldn't be in a situation where if one player goes out, the whole offense just runs its course and just falls apart. So I'm excited. I think that we're hearing a lot about what's been going on with this Texas Coast offense, but I'll believe it when I see it, you know. So there's that. I mean, I really have nothing more to say here. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. You can subscribe if you want and hit that notification bell. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys? Have a good one. Goodbye.